Now I invite the speaker of this session, Shri V.K. Gupta, Senior Training Officer in Nuclear Power Corporation Limited. He is graduated in Mechanical Engineering from the Institution of Engineers. He has total 45 years of work experience in power plant. He worked in Department of Atomic Energy, Rajasthan Atomic Power Station, Nuclear Power Corporation, and also worked in National Power Corporation Institute, Nagpur. Nowadays, he is engaged in classroom and field training of PGDC batches of engineers at NPTI, CBIP, and other places in the field of mechanical maintenance. He will be addressing the session on topic An Introduction to Nuclear Power Plant and Associated Technologies in India. Sir, I request you to kindly deliver your speech.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. First of all, though it is not my area to announce, yet I take the privilege today's session to be continued at least up to 6 o'clock. It's only for today because of the morning inaugural program getting delayed. So the third faculty to start at around 4 o'clock. May I request the coordinator to please announce, and now even without waiting for the approval, I'm starting my presentation.
Okay, sir. Start. Please start.
Are the participants able to hear me?
Yes,
are
sir.
Are they able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I will
sir.
make it full screen. Yeah, so this is all about nuclear power plants and nuclear power technology in India. I'm not talking about the world. We are concerned about whatever is there in India. India, we started the nuclear power plant or nuclear based technology somewhere in 1960 when Dr. Homi J. Bhabha, it was his dream. And with the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru sir, they initiated this program, and the first of the nuclear power reactors, other than only research purposes, they thought that let us harness the nuclear energy for generation of electricity. That was the big need of those days. So the first reactor of BWR were purchased from USA. Please take care of my words. The first two reactors of BWR were purchased from United States, General Electric and Westinghouse, and installed at Tarapur near Boisar in Maharashtra. Boiling water reactors. They were the first two reactors. We purchased them just to gain experience in the field of generation of electricity through nuclear means. Let me also say, whatever kind of reactors we have, they are all based on fission process. So you can underline it. Whatever kind of reactors we have as on today, they are all based on fission as the process. The other technology for the same purpose is a fusion technology, and this technology is still under experimentation and development. Some work has already been done in various parts of the world. China is way ahead. Russia, the work is going on. We are a member country of the research. And I think in another 5-7 years, this technology will be functional. And God bless or touch wood, then we will not have any deficiency or shortage of electricity. And it is much safer than fusion reactors. So whatever reactors we have, they are all based on fusion as the nuclear process. Second thing, it is uranium. It is uranium 235 92, which undergoes fission. Uranium 235 is not available as uranium 235 alone, But uranium is available, I mean, various part of the world as natural uranium. Natural uranium. So natural uranium is the principal material which contains uranium-235, but in a very, very small quantity. Again, this is worth noting. Natural uranium is available and it is mined as ore from various part of the world. In India also, we have got a number of places where uranium mining is being done by Uranium Corporation of India Limited. Again, it is a sub-department of Department of Atomic Energy, and the power producing or power generating department is called NOW, Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. Earlier it used to be central government, but now it is a corporation. So the first reactors we purchased 1960 boiling water reactor installed at Tarapur near Boisar. After gaining sufficient experience and demonstrating to the world, yes, we are capable, we purchased 2 more reactors from Canada of CANDU type, C-A-N-D-U, CANDU type, Canadian. CAN stands for Canadian, D for deuterium, and U for uranium. They were 100% imported reactors and they were installed at Rawat Bhata. Please take a note of it, Rawat Bhata, near Kota, Rajasthan. I am a part of those reactors. I worked there for about 35 years, 37 years I worked there. So there our engineers demonstrate the full capability of installation, commissioning, and then operation and maintenance of nuclear power plants. And then we started indigenizing those reactors. And then we kept going. Then Rawat Bhata means we call them as Rajasthan Atomic Power Plant, RAPP. Then they were called RAPP 1 and 2 reactors. And then we continued with many more reactors of the similar type, 210 megawatt electrical, 210 megawatt electrical. Next site was Madras Atomic Power Station, Kalpakam. The next site was Narora Atomic Power Plant near Aligarh or Bulandshahr. Then we went to Kakarpar near Surat. Then we went to Kaiga near Karwar in Karnataka. These are the basic 5 sites where CANDU reactors were installed. And from Rajasthan Atomic Power Plant or Rawat Bhata onwards, we started increasing the percentage of indigenization. And at Narora, almost 100% indigenized CANDU type of reactors were there. And we renamed them. Why to call them as Canadian now? We renamed them pressurized heavy water reactor, PHWR reactors. So only 210 megawatt size were available those days. Okay, 210 megawatt. I worked at Narora Atomic Power Plant as well at the last phase of my career. Then now 210 megawatt is upgraded to 500 megawatt electrical, and these reactors are very, very successfully operational at a number of places within the country. And now we are talking of 700 megawatt electrical reactor at some 2-3 places. It is still under construction at Rawat Bhata 2 units, as Banswara, Rajasthan 4 reactors, and other places. So these were the second type of reactors, CANDU type reactor or PHWR reactors. And about 22 such reactors are operational within the country. The third kind of reactor we made are the fast breeder reactors. Fast breeder reactors at Kalpakam near Chennai, Kalpakam, same site, FBR reactors. But whatever we promised to the country, due to a number of constraints, we could not come up with the required generation. Then what we thought, how to fulfill our promises made to the nation, we purchased two 1000 megawatt light water reactors. Please take care of my word. We purchased two 1000 megawatt light water reactors from Russia, VVR type, and they are now operational at Kudankulam near Kanyakumari. So in total, we may be having about 30 reactors in operational. First reactor, BWR, boiling water reactor. Second reactor, CANDU type or PHWR reactor. Is my voice clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Well audible, well audible. Okay, very well. So second type of reactors are CANDU type reactor. Third type of reactors are fast breeder reactor, and fourth type of reactors are LWR light water reactors. Other research reactors are there inside the BARC. They are like Apsara, Zarlina, and so many reactors they have got for production of radionuclides. No, these terminology you have to pick up, okay? But everything is written in my PPT. My PPT are very nicely prepared. You will have a lot of interest going through these informations. Now, whatever kind of a reactor is, it is based on fission as the process. Fission as the process. And when we talk of fission, it is only uranium-235 atom which undergoes fission by a thermal neutron. Thermal neutron is a neutron whose energy is 0.025 electron volt. It is also written. Okay, 0.025 electron volt. So this is thermal neutron. Why only uranium-235 atoms undergo fission? Because the probability of fission of uranium-235 with the thermal neutron is very high. But in the ore, I'm going now. This particular slide you are seeing is that of Kudankulam nuclear power plant. The two reactors we purchased from Russia, 1000 megawatt each. These are the two reactor buildings. Okay. Next is my beautiful site. Mera mandir hai ye. This is Rajasthan Atomic Power Station site. Now it's a very big site. My time it used to be very small, only two reactors which are there like this, you know. These are the two reactors which used to be there in the beginning, and now it has got 8 reactors, and heavy water plant is also there. Nuclear fuel complex is there, Prefra is there. It is a very big site, very big site, nuclear power plant. And whenever I am passing through, I bow my head there because it is a place of worship. It's a place of worship for a man like me, but for every Indian, it is a proud site. This site has only PHWR or CANDU type of reactors. 4 reactors, 210 megawatt, 2 reactors, 500 megawatt, 2 reactors, 700 megawatt. It's a big site. And it is on the bank of Chambal River. By this side we have Rana Pratap Sagar Dam, and this is catchment area. Now this beautiful picture is that of uranium ore. Now here it is a lump of uranium ore. Now 99.99% is soil and other materials, other elements. Uranium is tiny. Okay, it is processed. And all other things after separating out, we get a material like this you see in the drum. This is called yellow cake. It is pure uranium, but it is kept in the slurry form. It is called yellow cake. No, till now there is no problem. The only thing, it is a alpha emitter, but there is no problem. There is hardly any radiation other than alpha, but alpha is just very feeble and it can be stopped even by a paper. Now this slurry cannot remain as it is. It will get oxidized immediately. So what we do, we oxidize it. Anyhow it is going to get oxidized. So the melting point increases by oxidizing it. This is uranium dioxide, uranium dioxide. It is fused with oxygen. Pellets are made. Pellets are made just like gunshots. Pellets are made, and these pellets of natural uranium. Please take care of my words. Natural uranium as are inserted into these zircaloy tubes. Zircaloy tube. And then a bundle is prepared. A fuel bundle is prepared. In this fuel bundle, we have got many cartridges like this. Natural uranium. Here we have some amount of uranium-235 where fission takes place. Okay, fission takes place. थोड़ा मैं फास्ट ही चलूंगा, आप जरा पेपर पर नोट करते जाइए, आपको बाद में जो जो पूछना है. Now, this is just a comparison. One small pellet is equivalent to 807 kilograms of, I mean, it is hardly few grams, hardly few grams. It is equivalent to 807 kilogram of coal, 677 liters of oil, 477 cubic meters of natural gas. I mean, just very small, you know. Some technician is holding this by a tweezer just to show how tiny it is. It may be only few grams, and uranium-235 may be very small, very small. Why? We are going to see. So in a morning, we saw that in a coal-based thermal power plant, several thousand tons of coal is used on the daily basis. But here in a nuclear power plant, it is only in kilograms. For the same size of power plant, we use fuel only in kilogram, which can be transported by a car. This is the picture of a fuel bundle which is inserted into the reactor core, and in these tubes we call them as pencils. In these tubes, this is all standard terminology adopted worldwide. These are the zircaloy tubes, and in these zircaloy tubes are kept the uranium dioxide pellets. The thermal neutron penetrate through and through. जैसे भूत होता ना, दीवार से पार कर जाता है, नजर भी नहीं आता, ऐसे thermal neutrons is like a ghost. It can pass through the wall without puncturing, without developing a hole, because of the gap between matrix. Okay, through the matrix it will pass and then cause the fission of uranium-235. Please have a look at the fuel bundle. Hardly you will have the opportunity to look at the fuel. Now here the fission will take place and the heat will, due to mass defect or E is equal to mc square, mass will be converted into heat. There will be a temperature rise all over the fuel bundle, and then we pass the heavy water. We pass coolant through the fuel bundle, which picks up heat, and the heat is transported to the steam generator. It is not like conventional boiler. Okay, just have a look at many times. This is something which we really worship. Now, these are again the fuel elements or the fuel bundle of LWR or the BWR reactor. They are very complex. Again, same thing. The shape is different because CANDU reactors are horizontal reactor vessel, whereas LWR reactors are vertical. You can see another picture. They are vertical reactor vessel, and into the reactor core are inserted these assemblies. These assembly again zircaloy tubes, and they will have same zircaloy tubes having uranium dioxide pellets. And okay, now I'm going to read the description. The first of all, the atomic power reactor presently under operation and setup were 2 boiling water reactors. Next, 2 CANDU type reactor, Canadian deuterium uranium type, installed at Rawatbhata near Kota, Rajasthan. ये तो सब बता ही चुका हूँ. Let me save my time. We also have one FBR, fast breeder reactor, 500 megawatt electrical, and the latest we have got 2 into 1000 megawatt light water reactor. सबसे बड़े reactor देश में यही हैं. 2 into each reactor, each unit generate 1000 megawatt electricity. So 2 light water reactors. Okay. Now same, dear friends, fuel is the same. Please मेरे साथ बोलिए, fuel is the same. Natural uranium is the fuel. The only difference between BWR, LWR and CANDU type is, in the CANDU type, natural uranium is used, whereas in BWR and LWR, enriched uranium is used. वो मैं आगे आपको बताता हूँ. Enriched uranium is used. All are base load power station. All nuclear power plants work as base load power station. Our country is committed to the world for peaceful utilization of nuclear energy. We don't make any atomic bomb. Okay. We only generate electricity for the peaceful purpose, for the benefit of a common man. Civilization. Nuclear power is very sustainable, self-reliant, clean quality and environment friendly. Some people may laugh at me. क्या सर आप बोलते हो environmentally friend, इसमें तो बहुत खतरा है. दोस्तों चूंकि मैं तो प्रोफेशनल हूं, मैं आपको विश्वास से कहता हूं, न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट्स आर वेरी सेफ, दे आर सेल्फ रिलायंट. हमारे पास उसके चलाने के लिए सब कुछ है, बड़े साफ सुथरे हैं. वहां से जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट होती है वो 50 साइकिल्स पर सेकेंड क्वालिटी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, नॉट मच ऑफ द वेरिएशन इन फ्रीक्वेंसी, दैट इज व्हाट वी मीन बाय क्वालिटी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. और दोस्तों यहाँ से निकलने वाला कुछ भी चीज हानिकारक नहीं है. लोग अरे सर रेडिएशन तो बहुत निकलता है, अरे ये उनका अपना assumption है. रेडिएशन तो निकलेगा, लेकिन दिस रेडिएशन इज वेल मैनेज्ड. न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट के अंदर काम करने वाले आदमी को आज तक किसी को रेडिएशन से नुकसान नहीं हुआ है. पान तंबाकू खाने से हजारों लोगों को नुकसान हुआ है, लेकिन रेडिएशन से आज तक किसी को नुकसान नहीं हुआ. बल्कि रेडिएशन तो क्योर करती है. हाँ, मगर आप मुझे जापान का एग्जांपल देंगे, चेरनोबिल का देंगे, थर्ड माइल आइल का, देखिए टच वुड, वो अलग बातें हैं. हमारे देश में आज हमारे जो पावर प्लांट हैं, दे आर ऑपरेटिंग वेरी नाइसली. आवर पीपल आर हाईली एक्सपीरियंस्ड पीपल and they operate the nuclear power plant very successfully and up to the optimum standards, following up to the optimum safe standards. Indian nuclear power program is based on 3-tier fuel cycle. दोस्तों देखिए, आपको एक चीज और बताता हूँ. कोल फायर में जब कोयला जलता है तो 40% ऐश निकलता है, उसमें सल्फर होती है, बहुत सारे और हानिकारक चीजें होती हैं जिससे हम परेशान रहते हैं. 40% ऐश डिस्पोज करना थर्मल पावर प्लांट के लिए सबसे बड़ा सरदर्द है. लेकिन ब्यूटीफुल हमारे न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट में जो भी ईंधन हम कंज्यूम करते हैं, वट एवर फ्यूल वी यूज, उसमें से जो मटेरियल बचता है वो अगले टाइप के पावर प्लांट में काम आता है. क्या बात है. अगले जैसे कि माई वाइफ व्हाट शी डज, वो दूध खरीदती हैं और फ्रिज में रख के उस पे से मलाई उतार लेती हैं, मलाई से घी बना लेती हैं. जब घी बनाती हैं तो पनीर भी निकल जाता है. वाह भाई वाह, है ना, बाई प्रोडक्ट्स. तो ऐसे ही LWR, PHWR, कैंडू टाइप रिएक्टर में हम जो फ्यूल यूज करते हैं, आफ्टर बर्निंग उसमें से जो फ्यूल निकलता, उसमें से जो मटेरियल निकलता है वो अगले टाइप के स्पेशल टाइप के रिएक्टर्स में काम आता है जो हमारे देश में है. और वहां से फिर हम थर्ड टाइप के रिएक्टर के लिए ईंधन बनाते हैं. इसी को बोलते हैं 3-tier फ्यूल साइकिल. और जो वेस्ट होता है उसे डिस्पोज करने का बड़ा साइंटिफिक मेथड है. एब्सोल्युटली ए कॉमन मैन और any colony nearby is by no way affected. It is a very high, क्योंकि otherwise International Atomic Energy Agency will simply not allow us to continue with our program. And उनका काउंटर पार्ट हमारे देश में भी है, एटॉमिक एनर्जी रेगुलेटरी बोर्ड है, वो हमको अलाउ ही नहीं करेंगे. तो the entire operation is being done in a highly प्रोफेशनल एंड सेफ मैनर. दोस्तों आपने ये भी सुना होगा कि हमारे पास यूरेनियम की तो कमी है, आई डू एग्री, यूरेनियम की कमी है, लेकिन थोरियम बहुत है। थोरियम को हम एज इट इज इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते, थोरियम हमारे लिए बेकार है, थोरियम एज सच इज ऑफ नो यूज, इट इज अ वेस्ट, इट इज अ वेस्ट। थोरियम हैज टू बी फर्स्ट कन्वर्टेड इनटू यूरेनियम, उसके लिए बहुत ही कॉम्प्लेक्स प्लांट लगता है, दैट इज एफबीआर। एफबीआर में हम क्या करते हैं, we not only generate electricity by the fission of plutonium and uranium, but we also convert thorium into uranium 233, and this 233 will be a fuel for the advanced reactors, advanced reactor. So this is a beautiful way of obtaining one kind of nuclear fuel from the previous nuclear power plants, 3-tier fuel, and we will be able to use thorium also, otherwise दुनिया में चोरी कर करके लेके जा रहे हैं थोरियम हमारे देश से ना। सो FBR जो है फास्ट ब्रीडर रिएक्टर, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड ए ब्रीडर रिएक्टर, इट कंज्यूम्स सम मटेरियल बट प्रोड्यूसेस मोर मटेरियल फॉर द नेक्स्ट काइंड ऑफ न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर। चलिए आगे चलते हैं दोस्तों, फटाफट मैं एक न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी का रिव्यू कर देता हूं। Review: hydrogen as the first naturally occurring element and uranium as the last of the 92 elements. Artificially produced elements are after 92 elements. Atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Proton present in the nucleus try to repel each other due to positive charge, but it is prevented by another force acting within the nucleus called nuclear force. This is the force which keeps the atom intact and also known as binding energy. We will use in subsequent description that the binding energy per nucleon is about 7.5 million electron. Fusion में हम यही इस्तेमाल करेंगे. Each subatomic particle of nucleus is called a nucleon. ये थोड़ा सा आपको नजदीक लाने के लिए मैंने लिखे हैं. The nuclear force is exerted within the nucleus. Atomic, ये न्यूट्रॉन की भी है, न्यूक्लियस कर लेंगे, मैं बाद में करेक्ट कर दूं. Atomic mass is denoted by the capital letter A and atomic number is represented by the capital letter Z. दोस्तों mass of proton and neutron and electron is well known to us, तो उसमें जाने की जरूरत नहीं है आपको. मास डिफेक्ट में हम लोग कैलकुलेट करते हैं. हाइड्रोजन हैज 3 आइसोटोप, हाइड्रोजन, ड्यूटेरियम एंड ट्रिटियम. हाइड्रोजन एंड ड्यूटेरियम आर अवेलेबल नेचुरली. ये जो पानी हम पीते हैं ना, इसमें तो हाइड्रोजन ही है, हाइड्रोजन है, H2O हाइड्रोजन है, लेकिन साथ साथ after every 7000 atoms of hydrogen there is 1 atom of deuterium also, that also we drink. So chemical property of hydrogen and deuterium are same but physical properties are different, क्योंकि deuterium में एक न्यूट्रॉन भी होता है, whereas the hydrogen nucleus do not have any neutron. और ट्रिटियम जो है that is formed in the reactors by radiative capture process. थोड़ा सा आगे बताऊंगा आपको. नेचुरल यूरेनियम, अब असली चीज आ जाती है. द रियल स्टोरी स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम हियर. Natural uranium available from mining anywhere in the world will have this composition: uranium 238 99.282%, uranium 235 0.712%, and uranium 234 0.006%. So this is fixed anywhere in the world wherever natural uranium is. So its relative abundance is fixed. Now uranium 238 is of no use. It is a useless material, but it is converted into plutonium. But as far as nuclear reactors is concerned, it is only uranium 235 which undergoes fission, and that is so tiny, 0.712%. It is very tiny. This is called relative abundance of uranium isotope within natural uranium. Uranium is the heaviest naturally occurring, hydrogen is the light. Uranium 235 is called fissile material because it can undergo fission with neutrons having very small energy, 0.025 electron volt. In thermal reactors, we use thermal neutrons because the probability of fission is very high. Uranium 238 does not undergo fission, though it undergoes fission, but with neutrons of higher energy. वो क्या करता है भाई, खाता जाता है और फिशन कम होता है. तो ऐसे आदमी का मुझे क्या फायदा, मैं एक नौकर रख लेता हूं, ओके, काम तो करता है कम और सारे दिन खाता रहता किचन में, तो मैं उसको क्या करूं? What should I do with it? I should shunt him out. So, but the uranium-238 is of no use. It consumes more my costly, my precious neutron rather than undergoing fission. But uranium-235 undergoes fission very successfully. So we rely only on uranium-238, which is present in very tiny amount, 0.712%. Uranium-238, which is present in the bulk, is called fissionable material, though it also undergoes fission, but neutron having energy level of the range of 1.2 MeV. In fact, at this energy, probability of fission of uranium-238 atom is low and absorption is very high. तो फिर क्या फायदा क्या हुआ? Uranium-238 on absorbing a neutron is converted into plutonium. ये असली चीज है. Uranium-238 on absorbing a neutron is converted into plutonium-238. ये असली चीज है और अगले टाइप के रिएक्टर के लिए ये मेरा फिसाइल मटेरियल है. फास्ट ब्रीडर रिएक्टर के लिए प्लूटोनियम-238 फिसाइल मटेरियल है. फर्टाइल मटेरियल, दोस्तों ये टर्मिनोलॉजी है, ये पकड़ना पड़ेगा हमको. हूं तो मैं भी एक कोल बेस्ड का आदमी, लेकिन चूंकि न्यूक्लियर में मैंने काम किया है तो ये चीजें जो है ना मुझे आधी रात को भी कोई पूछता है तो याद आ जाते हैं. तो फर्टाइल मटेरियल्स आर आइसोटोप व्हिच आर कैपेबल ऑफ बिकमिंग फिसाइल बाय कैप्चरिंग फास्ट न्यूट्रॉन्स. फॉर एग्जांपल thorium-232 plus 1 neutron, it is converted into uranium-233 by beta decay. इसी तरह से plutonium-243 भी बनता है. ये दोनों फिसाइल मटेरियल हैं. So a material which by absorbing a neutron can be converted into fissile material is called a fertile material. So thorium is a fertile material, uranium-238 is a fertile material. Fission process. चलिए अब असली चीज पर आ जाते हैं. What is a fission process? Splitting of a large atom like uranium-238 only uranium-235 is called fission process. और कोई एटम का फिशन नहीं होता. It is only uranium-235 which undergoes fission, and that too by neutrons having very small energy. During each fission, two daughter nuclides of mass ranging between 70 to 160 are produced. As a result, अभी मैं आपको आगे दिखाऊंगा इक्वेशन. 160 are produced as a result unstable condition of uranium-236. This is associated with 2 or 3 fast neutrons having energy around 2.5 million electron volt and tremendous amount of heat energy due to mass defect. Please note my words, due to mass defect. E is equal to mc square, the famous Einstein equation, where mass is converted into energy. The neutron produced as a result of fission are known as fission. ये तो आपको कुछ भी याद नहीं रहेगा. ये देखिए अभी यहां से याद रहेगा. Here it is only one atom. There are billions and billions and billions and billions atoms of uranium-238, 235 in the reactor core. So just one, like that, the fission of billion and billion is going on simultaneously. So one atom of uranium-235, 92 is atomic number and this is mass number. And thermal neutron, I should write thermal neutron here. It captures it immediately. As it captures it, it becomes uranium-236, which is highly unstable, and it splits instantaneously into one small and one large nuclide. Oh, sorry, one large and one small nuclide. So here the large is barium and small is krypton. It can be any. So here the barium and krypton, they are called daughter nuclides, and 3 neutrons. It consumed 1, but it emitted 3. Here the energy is thermal energy. Here the energy is fast energy, 2.5 million electron volt. अब चेन रिएक्शन को चलाए रखना है ना, चेन रिएक्शन को चलाए रखना है, इसका मतलब है मैंने एक न्यूट्रॉन कंज्यूम किया है, अगली फिशन प्रोसेस के लिए मेरे पास एक न्यूट्रॉन तो चाहिए ना, 3 में से एक तो मिनिमम एक चाहिए मुझे। तो व्हाट वी डू, वी स्लो डाउन दीस न्यूट्रॉन्स बाय कोलाइडिंग विद मॉडरेटर। मॉडरेटर के एटम्स के साथ इनको कोलाइड करवाते हैं और इसकी एनर्जी को तोड़ तोड़ के कम कर देते हैं। 2.5 MeV से कम कर करके 0.025 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट पर ले आते हैं और वो फिर यहां आ जाता है, वो फिर फिशन करता है। तो देखिए ये 3 न्यूट्रॉन है, हमने इसको स्लो डाउन किया और ये फिर आगे 3 यूरेनियम 235 का फिशन कर रहे हैं। और फिर यहां से फिर हमारे पास 9 न्यूट्रॉन मिले। इन 9 से हम फिर 27 का करेंगे, 27 से 81 का करेंगे, 81 से 243 का करेंगे। So like that the chain reaction will keep going, but it is increasing exponentially. So this is called uncontrolled fission process. लेकिन हमें तो कंट्रोल्ड रिएक्शन करना है। अगर मैंने किसी भी पावर लेवल पर एक न्यूट्रॉन कंज्यूम किया है तो सब्सिक्वेंट जनरेशन के लिए मुझे एक न्यूट्रॉन चाहिए, उससे नेक्स्ट के लिए एक न्यूट्रॉन चाहिए, उससे सब्सिक्वेंट के लिए एक न्यूट्रॉन चाहिए, उससे सब्सिक्वेंट के लिए एक न्यूट्रॉन चाहिए। तो मेरा चेन रिएक्शन चलता रहेगा। जैसे मेरा घर का खर्चा चलता है ना, घर का खर्च चलता है, वैसे चलता रहेगा। लेकिन जो एक्सेस न्यूट्रॉन है उसका मैं क्या करूं? जैसे मेरे पास एक्सेस मनी होती है मैं बैंक में जमा करा देता हूं, ऐसे रिएक्टर में भी मेरे पास एक बैंक होता है जिसको हम एब्जॉर्बर रॉड्स बोलते हैं या कंट्रोल रॉड्स बोलते हैं। वो रिएक्टर के अंदर बाहर मूव करती रहती हैं और एक्सेस न्यूट्रॉन्स को कंज्यूम कर लेती हैं और मेरा पावर लेवल को कंटिन्यू करती हैं या मेरा मल्टीप्लिकेशन फैक्टर को 1 बनाए रखती हैं। मल्टीप्लिकेशन फैक्टर इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टर्म। ये चेन रिएक्शन है, एक के बाद एक, एक के बाद एक, एक के बाद एक, एक के बाद एक चेन रिएक्शन। अगर एक के बाद 0.9 हो गया, 0.9 के बाद 8 हो गया, 0.8 तो मेरा चेन रिएक्शन तो नीचे की तरफ आता जाएगा, डाई डाउन होता चला जाएगा। लेकिन अगर 1 के बाद 1.2, 1.2 के बाद 1.2, 1.3 तो मेरा चेन रिएक्शन बढ़ता चला जाएगा, तो मेरा रिएक्टर को खतरा हो जाएगा। नहीं, मुझे अपना चेन रिएक्शन को 1 बनाए रखना है, दैट इज कॉल्ड मल्टीप्लिकेशन फैक्टर। सो दोस्तों, हर फिशन से मुझे 200 मिलियन इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट एनर्जी मिलती है, 200 मिलियन इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट एनर्जी मिलती है। ओके, आगे हम देखेंगे मास डिफेक्ट से, लेकिन आप यहाँ इक्वेशन देख लीजिएगा। यूरेनियम 235 92 प्लस न्यूट्रॉन, यूरेनियम 236 ड्यू टू रेडिएटिव कैप्चर इट स्प्लिट्स इनटू स्ट्रोंशियम एंड xenon। यहां से मैंने जानबूझ के अलग लिखा है, आई हैव रिटन डाउन separate radionuclide because it can be any, one large, one small, plus sometime 2 neutrons, sometime 3 fast neutron, plus heat energy is equal to mc square, plus a lot of beta and gamma energy. So everything takes place inside the reactor core. Please speak with me. Everything takes place inside the reactor core. And everything remains confined inside the reactor core. Nothing should come out. Nothing should come out. If anything comes out, it is an emergency situation for me. Okay, it should contain everything within itself. My friends, how much you are understanding out of my words? I think you are more intelligent than me. Yes, you must be grasping my terminology. Please say yes or no. Hello everybody, are you hearing me? मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir, we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
And are you able to understand the text?
Yes, sir, it's clear in the
PPT
presentation.
Okay, yes. Very well. Now we will find out the mass defect. In every fission, we have about 0.215 AMU mass defect. If we calculate the mass defect by mass spectrometer, not by chemically balancing the equation, no, by mass spectrometer, every fission results in a 0.215 AMU mass defect. And we know that 1 AMU is equal to 931 MeV. So in every fission, it will produce about 200 million electron volt of energy. We will calculate how much by using how much. This is of great interest because I'm talking about a power plant. I'm not talking about a laboratory experiment work, or I'm not talking about academic description. No, not at all. It is all about the power plants. So energy released, how much energy is released by consuming how much material. And that will be very, very surprising to you when you go through the data. The energy released during one fission is not of much practical value, since it is only equivalent to 3.1 into 10 raised to the power minus 11 watt per second. So tiny. And to produce 1 watt of power, see, 1 watt of power. More than 1 watt power I can generate by a simple dynamometer from my bicycle. 1 by 3.1 into 10 raised to the power minus 11. Please correct it, 3.1 fissions per second. That means 3.1 into 10 raised to the power 10 fission per second will produce only 1 watt of power. 1 watt of power. And to produce 1 megawatt of power, how many fissions? Multiply this figure by 10 raised to the power 6. 3.1 into 10 raised to the power 16 fissions per second are supposed to have taken place. Amount of fuel required to produce 1 megawatt power. 1 megawatt power, 3.1 into 10 raised to the power 16 multiplied by mass number 235 divided by Avogadro's number. 6.025 into 10 raised to the power 23. That is Avogadro's number, and it comes out to be 1.25 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 grams. Oh my God. Of uranium 235. Of uranium 1.25 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 grams of uranium 235 will produce 1 megawatt per second. Let us calculate per day. Therefore, in order to produce 1 megawatt of power, 1.25 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 gram of uranium 235 will have to be consumed each second. Mass of uranium 235 for 1 megawatt day of energy, multiply it by 24 and 3600. 1.25 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 grams into 24 and 3600, and it comes out to be 1.08 grams of uranium 235. My good God. Just 1 gram of uranium 235 will produce 1 megawatt whole day. 1 megawatt whole day. And you know how much coal we need? How much coal we need for same amount of electrical energy? Several hundred tons of coal. This is a kind of comparison between the two. Since and no pollution whatsoever. Those who speak about the pollution like Greenpeace people and so many other people, it is all humbug. It's all humbug. They fool the common man. The people demonstrating outside a nuclear facility, they fool the common man by creating a fear. Nuclear. No. It is very, very safe. It is very clean. It is very clean. And it is a reliable and viable source of energy. So you know that slowly we are shutting down all coal-based thermal power plant due to greenhouse effects. From where you will get electricity? It is only from future fusion reactors you are going to get electricity. So since natural uranium contains 0.007, Uranium-235 in the purest form is not available, dear friends. It is available only as natural uranium, and natural uranium contains only 0.712 grams. So let us calculate now, in place of uranium-235, how much natural uranium we need to produce 1 megawatt day. Divided 1.08 divided by relative abundance of uranium-235, that is 0.0071, and it comes out to be 152 grams of natural uranium. The uranium we directly obtain from mines. Okay, so to produce 1000 megawatt day, multiply it by 1000. 152 grams multiplied by 1000, 152 kilograms of natural uranium is needed if all uranium-235 present in it is burnt. Actually, it is not burnt, but it is a terminology. It is undergoes fission. Undergo fission. It is not like coal, which will burn. To produce 1000 megawatt from coal based, we need 15,600 tons of coal. My God. And in a nuclear power plant, I just need 152 kilograms of natural uranium. So you can compare the emissions. The emissions from a coal based power plant, from about 6,000 tons of ash will be there. About 30,000 tons of carbon dioxide and several hundred tons of sulfur dioxide emission will be there. Oh my God. I'm also a thermal man. I also teach about coal based power plant. I'm not exaggerating, but these are the facts. These are the facts. That is why the whole world is crying. That is why there is a power scarcity in the China. Because China is cutting down. China is cutting down due to a pressure. So since they were relying only on coal base, so there is a power scarcity nowadays. Power scarcity nowadays. One can think how less it is in comparison to coal, which may need tremendous amount of coal to produce 1000 megawatt day of electricity. Okay, friends. So this is 3-tier base. PHWR, why it is now? It is indigenous PHWR because lot of natural uranium is available within the country, but still not sufficient. Recently in Rajasthan, at number of places, uranium has been available. It's a very good news for Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. From Rajasthan, a number of places, UCIL has conducted survey, and uranium mines are available in abundance. It's a very happy news. So PHWR is chosen because they are our own reactors. They are based on our own fuel. They are based on our own fuel fabricated bundles. Whereas for BWR and LWR, we have to rely on outside. Any day they can threaten us, and they keep on threatening us. For LWR, we are getting fuel from Russia. Any day Russia can stop. Even if we have got a MOU, does not matter. Who cares for your MOU? Okay. America has already threatened us several times. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to supply any further fuel for your BWR reactor. What we can do? Nothing. Okay. I will not go. Site selection criteria are simple. पानी होना चाहिए, आने जाने के लिए जगह होनी चाहिए, लैंड फ्लैट होनी चाहिए, सीस्मिक जोन में नहीं होना चाहिए, है ना. लोगों के बड़ा भारी सामान आएगा, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन फैसिलिटी होना चाहिए. लेकिन कॉमन मैन इनहैबिटेशन से थोड़ा दूर हो तो ज्यादा अच्छा है. इनहैबिटेशन से दूर हो तो ज्यादा अच्छा है. पानी, बस यही तो है. यही थर्मल के भी क्राइटेरियाज हैं. दोस्तों, let us look into inside of a CANDU reactors. CANDU reactors means Canadian Deuterium Uranium. Canada, because the reactors were conceived in or they were developed in Canada. That is why it is called Canada. Now we don't call them as Canada, we call them as Indian, because we have now re-standardized them as per our condition. So deuterium, they use heavy water as coolant. Deuterium, they used heavy water as coolant, and they use natural uranium as fuel. That is why हमें ये पसंद है. That is why more of the reactors of this type are there in our country. CANDU type reactors. More than 22 reactors as on today. My dear friends, the share of nuclear power as on today is very low. हमको शर्म आती है, लेकिन क्या करें, हमारे बहुत कंस्ट्रेंट है. It is only 3.2% out of the total. 3.2. Okay. So the basic components of a nuclear power reactor, you see, this is a reactor building, and the reactor building houses all the nuclear systems. All nuclear systems are housed inside the reactor building. It's a cylindrical, tall, having a dome at the top, and everything is, it's a big voluminous. And the wall of the reactor building are about 1 meter thick, reinforced, heavy reinforced cement concrete, double walled. It acts as a pressure vessel. So everything, whether it is a reactor core, whether it's a primary heat transport system, whether it is a moderator system, whether it is a reactor control system, whether it is a steam generating system, okay, whether it is a reactor protection system, everything is housed inside the reactor building, and it is very, very complex, friends, very complex, very compact. Okay, the fuel loading and unloading is carried out by two computerized controlled fueling machines, which is there on both sides of the calandria. Calandria is nothing but reactor vessel. It is a name, like my name is Virendra Kumar Gupta. So similarly, CANDU reactors are known by the name calandria, and on both sides of the calandria, you have got two fueling machines, which will charge the fuel bundle. At the same time, they will receive the spent fuel. Millions of Roentgen, gamma, neutron field, or total neutron radiation will be there inside, because it has got a live fuel bundle. And even if we stop the reactor, okay, shut down the reactor, still the fission will keep going. Generation of heat will still be there, though at a very lesser rate. So reactor core cooling has to be there at all time. Even after the reactor is dead, 30 years later also reactor core cooling has to continue. And that is what happened in case of Chernobyl. That is what happened in case of Fukushima. That is what happened in case of 3 Mile Island. Reactor core cooling failed. But here in our designs, we have got a multi-tier reactor core cooling, one after the other. If one fails, the second one will come into effect. The second fails, third one comes into effect. Fourth failed, third failed, fourth comes into. So the probability of reactor core cooling failure is very, very less. अगर फिर भी हो जाए तो भगवान की मर्जी है. Now to enter into the reactor building and to enter and exit into the reactor building during normal operation is controlled via main airlock, triple door main airlock, because the environment inside the reactor building, you can consider them as slightly dirty, dirty. It will have radioisotopes, tritium radiation, and every bad thing will be there. So to prevent that environment to escape to outside the cleaner area, we use triple door entry control called main airlock. एक दरवाजा बंद होगा तभी दूसरा खुलेगा, दूसरा जब बंद होगा तभी तीसरा खुलेगा. एक मेन एयरलॉक होता है, एक इमरजेंसी एयरलॉक होता है. सो वो भी आपको दिखा दूंगा. तो चलिए, कुछ ये मेरा कूलेंट चैनल है. इसके अंदर 12 फ्यूल बंडल होते हैं, यहाँ तो केवल 3 ही दिखाया, स्कीमेटिक है। एंड एट बोथ एंड ऑफ द coolant channel I have got a feeder tubes connected, and suppose these are my ये मेरा है, ये मेरा आउटलेट हेडर है, ये मेरा आउटलेट हेडर है। तो ये रिएक्टर इनलेट हेडर हो गया, यहाँ से कोल्ड D2O विल एंटर, होता ये भी गर्म है बट it is relatively cooler. So it is pushed past the fuel bundle, it picks up heat from all the fuel bundle, and then it will go out, it will pass through mushroom type of a heat exchanger. It has got a U-tube, the hot D2O passes through the U-tube, thousands and thousands of U-tubes are there inside the steam generator, and the heat will be transferred to the light water, which will slowly convert into steam. So that is so simple, but in fact it is very, very complicated. The instrumentation network is very, very complicated. So this is the reactor, this is the coolant channel, and these are the control rods which are there, which are inserted into the vessel, which is a cylindrical vessel. And ये अंदर बाहर चलती रहती हैं डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द पावर लेवल. सो ये तो कंट्रोल रॉड्स हैं, और एक शट ऑफ रॉड्स होती हैं. जैसे रिएक्टर ट्रिप होता है, द शट ऑफ रॉड्स विल इमीडिएटली इंसर्ट इनटू द रिएक्टर एंड मेक द रिएक्टर सब क्रिटिकल. ये टर्मिनोलॉजी सारी जरा ध्यान रखना है आपको. मेक द रिएक्टर सब क्रिटिकल. एवरीथिंग इज ऑटोमेटिक, everything is automatic, nothing manual. So these absorber rods are made of any neutron absorbing material, particularly cadmium, hafnium, okay, lithium pentaborate, like that, you know, boron, boron, any neutron absorbing material it can be made of. And steam from here goes and run the turbine. Please, my dear friends, in a nuclear power plant, no high pressure and temperature steam like coal based. You have got a superheated, very high pressure steam as high as 150 kg or more than 150 kg, temperature as high as 540 degrees Celsius, maybe more. But here the pressure and temperature of steam are only 50 kg per centimeter square and temperature around 250 degrees Celsius. Dry saturated steam, no superheated steam. That is because of thermal restrictions on fuel bundles. We could have gone for superheated steam, but thermal stresses on the fuel bundle do not allow us. Okay, do not allow us to go beyond maximum coolant temperature of 300 degree Celsius or maximum 305 degree Celsius. इससे ज्यादा टेम्परेचर अलाउड नहीं है. Friends, fuel failure as a result of any distortion, thermal distortion or hydraulic distortion of the fuel bundle is considered as a very, very serious nuclear incident. So it has to be prevented. तो एक बार यहाँ से स्टीम बन गई बस, उसके बाद तो क्या है, जैसे नॉर्मल थर्मल, जैसे नॉर्मल प्लांट होता वैसे ही है. ये टरबाइन है, टरबाइन के नीचे कंडेंसर है, ये कंडेंसर कूलिंग वाटर है जो सेरे जैन साहब बता रहे थे. ये हॉट वेल है, ये CEP है, ओके, LP हीटर्स हो गए, BFP हो गए, HP हीटर हो गए, और फिर पानी यहाँ से पुश्ड, वाटर इज पुश्ड, स्टीम ही बन के बाहर निकलता है. Right, friends, after once a fuel is charged into the reactor core, normally it resides for 2 years. It continues to undergo fission nearly for 2 years. Then we say after 2 years, all the uranium-235 is spent. So we call it as a spent fuel, and it is removed from the fuel bundle by automatic process and computer calculation. Reactor physics people will tell us which fuel bundles are to be removed from the reactor building. ये सब बड़े बड़े प्रोग्राम हैं, है ना. हम बहुत छोटे. These are all very big things. Okay, very big people are there to do all these calculations. So we know which of the fuel bundle have now spent and they must be removed from the reactor core by fueling machine, and the fueling machine will remove and simultaneously fresh fuel is charged. At any time there will be fixed amount of fuel bundle in the reactor core. 306 चैनल होती हैं 210 मेगावाट यूनिट में, and every channel will have 12 fuel bundle. At any time there will be 3,672 fuel bundle. No one more, no one less. And after the fuel bundles are removed, they are kept into a storage bay. For several years, they are kept into a swimming pool. Swimming pool only for the bundle, not for a common man. It is a highly contaminated water. So they are kept inside a swimming pool or the spent fuel storage bay for cooling purposes, and say once after 7-8 years when they cool down sufficiently, they are removed and transported to a very secret department of BRC called PREFRE, where fuel bundles are cut and very costly materials from here are removed, like plutonium and so many other radionuclides, so many other radio. They are separated out and then used for whatever application they have got. Okay, so friends, it is clearly written here, whatever I have spoken. आप इसको पढ़ सकते हैं. Now I will go through the systems which are very brief, very brief. Basic parts of a nuclear reactor are reactor core, moderator, control rods, coolant and shielding. What is a reactor core? Reactor core is a calandria. It is a cylindrical vessel of stainless steel SS 304, about 1 inch thick. On both sides it has got end shield of very heavy structure. वो भी दिखाऊंगा आपको. Reactor core. The core of the reactor contains natural uranium fuel. Natural uranium fuel. Candu reactors, heavy water reactors use natural uranium, of which only 0.7% is uranium 235. While light water reactors use uranium, it has been enriched. Means the presence or the relative presence of uranium 238 is enhanced by 3 to 5%. अब दिल्ली वाले जो लोग हैं वो कहते हैं कि चाय में हम तो 1 ही चम्मच चीनी पिएंगे, है ना. मेरठ वाले हैं या दूसरे लोग हैं वो बोलते हैं नहीं यार तू तो 3-4 डाल दे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So that is enriched tea. Tea has been enriched with the sugar. So this is done by centrifuging. Because in light water reactors and BWR reactors, it is same natural uranium, but the percentage of uranium 235 is enhanced from 0.712% to 3 to 5% by way of centrifuging. In India, we do not have this facility. Pakistan has got this facility. That Abdul Qadir stole from Germany. Okay, so moderator is deuterium, D2O. Deuterium is the second isotope of hydrogen. Every light material, hydrogen, deuterium, helium, carbon, they act as moderator, means they will slow down the fast neutron by thermal collisions. And each collision, it will suffer drop in heat or the energy. It will suffer a drop in energy. So heavy water is very good. Heavy water is very good for that purpose. Light water is still good, but we cannot use light water. Why? Because in the light water you have hydrogen, and hydrogen do not have any neutron. Its tendency will be to absorb neutron. So absorption cross section of light water is very high as compared to deuterium. And since the fissile material is so less, you cannot make the reactor critical. Now again terminology. You cannot make the reactor critical Candu type with light water because it will consume most of your neutrons. So you have to use heavy water as moderator. And also the coolant, both are heavy water. Heavy water is taken out. It is taken out. by way of distillation from light water. It is separated by way of its boiling point, which is very close, very close. So for that you have got a heavy water plant near Rawatbhata. We have got a heavy water plant. And the cost of heavy water is nearly 30,000 rupees a kg. 30,000 rupees a kg, my God. And we use about 150 tons in 210 megawatt in coolant and about 200 tons of heavy water as moderator. 500 मेगावाट में इससे भी ज्यादा यूज करना पड़ेगा, 700 में इससे भी ज्यादा यूज होगा. आप लगाइए कॉस्ट इन्वेंट्री, इट्स वेरी कॉस्टली. न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट में दो ही चीजों की कीमत ज्यादा होती है. जैसे कोल थर्मल में हम हमेशा कोयले की कीमत गिनते हैं, तो न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट में हम हमेशा फ्यूल की और मॉडरेटर की कीमत हम गिनते हैं. So moderator is a light material such as water that allows neutron to be slowed down by way of thermal collisions, by way of Compton effect, okay, without being captured. By slowing down fast neutron created during fission, it can increase their efficiency of causing further fission. Rather, I will not say efficiency, I will say the probability of causing further fission is enhanced. अब ये मॉडरेटर कहाँ होता है? ये हमारा कैलेंड्रिया के अंदर कूलेंट ट्यूब के बाहर फिल होता है बस. कंट्रोल रॉड्स आर मेड ऑफ मटेरियल दैट absorb neutrons such as boron, silver, indium, cadmium, hafnium. Okay, they are introduced into the reactor in the form of rods. Okay, very complex arrangement, very complex. They are introduced into the reactor to reduce the number of neutrons and thus control the fission process at whatever power level it is required. They are also used to control the level and distribution of power in the reactor. अच्छा आगे उसने लिख दिया. They can also be used to shut down the reactor. They are dropped into the reactor within fraction of a second, and it will make the reactor subcritical. So there are three levels of criticality. Normal criticality at any power level, value of K multiplication factor is 1. Supercritical, the value of K is more than 1. Subcritical, the value of K is less than 1. Okay. K is called multiplication factor, and it can also be known by the reactivity. The excess money is called reactivity. Coolant is similar to moderator. And its purpose is to transport heat from the fuel bundle to the steam generator. At the same time, it maintains the temperature of the fuel. और फ्यूल का भी तो टेम्परेचर मेंटेन करना है ना within acceptable limit. It is roughly around 310 degrees Celsius. Shielding is very critical because of immense level of radiation. RAM, Roentgen equivalent man. So many millions of Roentgen radiation field is there inside the reactor core. It has to be shielded so that a common man or the professional workers, which are called occupational worker, working inside the reactor, are not affected due to radiation. रेडिएशन तो फिर भी लगती है भाई, रेडिएशन तो लगती है. अभी जब हम कोल बेस्ड थर्मल पावर प्लांट में काम करते हैं तो क्या हमारी राख हमारे पेट में नहीं लंग्स में नहीं जाती है. तो व्हाट दे कैन यूज इज ओरो नोजल. नाक के ऊपर मास्क लगा सकते हैं, अब तो मास्क लगाने की आदत पड़ गई है सबको. देन द ऐश विल नॉट गो और लेस ऐश विल गो. सो शील्ड किया ना उन्होंने अपने नाक को. ऐसे ही हम रिएक्टर कोर के चारों तरफ शील्डिंग करते हैं. सो द शील्डिंग विल शील्ड रेडिएशन लेवल and bring it to a level where the occupational worker can work inside the reactor building without getting substantial radiation dose. Please take care of my word. without being getting substantial radiation dose. अब ये जो एक्सरे ऑपरेटर होते हैं ना, एक्सरे ऑपरेटर होते हैं, इन्हें तो बहुत रेडिएशन डोज लगता है. द पुअर पीपल डू नॉट नो हाउ मच रेडिएशन डोज दे आर गेटिंग. 90% तो रेडिएशन मॉनिटरिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट यूज ही नहीं करते हैं, है ना. कुछ सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में उन रेडिएशन मेजरिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट यूज करते हैं और उसको मेजर करने के लिए उन्हें BARC भेजना पड़ता है, क्योंकि दैट इज द ओनली प्लेस वेयर द रेडिएशन अमाउंट ऑफ एब्जॉर्ब्ड डोज कैन बी मेजर्ड. सो शील्डिंग. अब रिएक्टर की दीवार इतनी मोटी होनी चाहिए कि रिएक्टर से बाहर जो रेडिएशन लेवल है वो बिल्कुल ना के बराबर. इट शुड बी जस्ट लाइक एनीवेयर एल्स. आपको तो पता होना चाहिए रेडिएशन हर जगह होती है. रेडिएशन हर जगह होती है. स्टोन्स में रेडिएशन है क्योंकि उसमें रेडियो एक्टिव मटेरियल रेडॉन होता है, और दूसरे और भी बहुत हैं. कॉस्मिक रेडिएशन होती है, बहुत तरह की रेडिएशन होती है. सो बैकग्राउंड नेचुरल रेडिएशन भी होती है. और जो न्यूक्लियर फैसिलिटी के आसपास जो गांव होते हैं, विलेजेस एंड हैबिटेशन इज देयर, उन्हें जो रेडिएशन मिलती है हमारी वजह से, न्यूक्लियर फैसिलिटी की वजह से, वट एवर रेडिएशन दे गेट इज सो लेस. वो तो हमारा बहुत फायदा उठाते हैं, हाय हाय करते हैं, रेडिएशन लग गई, मुझे कैंसर हो गया, हाय हाय, मुझे ये हो गया, हाय हाय, चलो मेरे बच्चों को एडमिशन दो, हमारे लिए पानी दो, हमारे लिए ये करो, देते रहते हैं हम भी, ले जाओ भैया, लो भैया, लो भैया. लेकिन उन्हें जो नेचुरल बैकग्राउंड रेडिएशन मिलती है उसका भी 1/10 रेडिएशन जो है न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट से मिलता है. लेकिन मिलता तो है भैया, पर वो होता कुछ भी नहीं है ना, होता कुछ भी नहीं है. उसकी वैल्यू कुछ, अच्छा पेट के कीड़े मर जाते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. तो दोस्तों मैंने अभी आपको कांडू रिएक्टर के बारे में बहुत ही ब्रीफ में बताया. इसके ऊपर तो वेरी वेरी थिक बुक्स आर अवेलेबल, ग्लासस्टोन वगैरह की किताबें अवेलेबल है पढ़ने के लिए. पर आपको क्या करना है, नाउ लेट अस गो थ्रू द सेकंड टाइप ऑफ ए रिएक्टर, प्रेशराइज्ड वाटर रिएक्टर. प्रेशराइज्ड वाटर रिएक्टर मीन LWR रिएक्टर, जो कुंडानकुलम में है हमारे पास. उनका हमारा जो वेसल है वो वर्टिकल है. देखिए आप, इसका जो रिएक्टर वेसल है, कैलेंड्रिया है, ये हॉरिजॉन्टल है. ऑन पावर फ्यूलिंग कर सकते हैं. इसका सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज है, while the station is in operation we can carry out fueling. सबसे बड़ा फायदा ये है. लेकिन यहाँ पर ऐसे नहीं है. Now this is the reactor core and it is vertical. It is vertical. अंदर वही है. Instead of natural uranium, it uses enriched uranium fuel bundles. ये स्टेनलेस स्टील का रिएक्टर वेसल है, वर्टिकल ओरिएंटेशन है. ये इसकी टोपी है, ये इसका बॉनेट है. दिस इज द बॉनेट, lid, bonnet, whatever you call them. There are several hundred nut bolts are there, and these are the control rods. Okay, light water is fed, no heavy water. Light water is fed. मैंने एक स्लाइड बनाया था जिसमें कंपैरिजन लिखा था. हो सकता है मेरी किसी दूसरी फाइल में हो, वो आपको दिखाता जरा अच्छा रहता. So anyway, no problem. You can summarize yourself. Light water is fed into the reactor vessel under pressure, and that flow past the fuel bundle, pick up heat, and the hot light water goes and convert light water in a mushroom type heat exchanger, और mushroom type शक्ल की वजह से बोलते हैं ना, mushroom type steam generator where heat is transferred and light water is converted into steam and it goes to turbine. Pressure and temperature again are low, 60 kg and temperature around 260 degrees Celsius. This may be slightly surprising. Now again you have got two cycles, primary cycle and secondary cycle. They are separate because primary water comes in contact with the fuel bundle. It is contaminated. It is radioactive. And the secondary, because it is isolated, no contamination. Our steam is pure. Okay, not very, again very complex, because I'm going to show you a view. Boiling water reactors. No, they are also similar. Pressurized water reactor. We have got a 2 reactors at Tarapur boiling water reactor. We have got a 2 light water reactor of 1000 megawatt at Kudankulam. ये reactor जो है ना initially 210 megawatt के थे and now they have been re-rated to 160 megawatt. पुराने हो गए, बूढ़े हो गए. Okay. अभी बूढ़ा आदमी इतना फास्ट चल सकता है क्या? यंग. Okay, 20 year young and 80 years old man, they cannot walk together. So it is re-rated to 160 megawatt boiling water reactor. Philosophy is the same reactor, same vertical orientation, same fuel, same coolant, same channel, same light water as coolant and moderator, same light water and coolant as coolant and moderator. It is fed into the reactor core, but the difference is within the reactor core, the water fed starts converting into steam. Here steam in the secondary cycle. Here steam in the reactor vessel itself. But that's the only difference. So what is the problem? The problem is steam is contaminated. That is why we did not go for further boiling water reactor, because the radiation levels are high. The shielding requirement is very critical. People get more radiation dose of working there. So the steam is raised within the reactor vessel and directly goes to the turbine directly. That is the only difference. But worldwide, because they were the first developed, good number of reactors are there worldwide, 15%, but more reactors are pressurized water reactor, whether it is Japan, whether it is France, UK, US has got high. US has more of the boiling water reactor. Okay. Russia, and Kandu type reactors are only in Canada, Argentina, Pakistan, China, India, poor countries. Because here the problem of tritium is there. Now VVR type reactor, I will show you a view of a reactor vessel. This is the view of the reactor vessel. Okay, so I pick up the reactor vessel from my picture and place here and place here. Here and here is the same thing, here and here. Okay, so this is how it looks from inside. It is highly complex in terms of fabrication, in terms of material, in terms of welded joint, in terms of non-destructive testing. Everything. It is very complex. And for fueling, once in 2 years, you have to open it from the bonnet. Bonnet से खोलना पड़ता है इसको. इसकी टोपी उठानी पड़ती है. Bonnet has to be lifted up. Then the reactor core is visible. So whichever fuel channels are to be replaced, they are lifted by way of a crane available above it. Okay, they are removed. When they are removed, they will have millions of Roentgen field, millions of R field. So it is taken into a flask. It is not taken out as naked, but it is taken into a flask and immediately transported. Because the radiation levels are very high. It is very complex. Okay. And the primary heat transport system, this bottle is there, na? This is the reactor vessel. These are all the control rods. ये reactor vessel है, ये bonnet है, and primary heat transport pump. They are very complex pumps, very complex pumps. Triple level of mechanical seals are there. There are four cycles, 1, 2, 3, 4 in parallel, and these are the steam generator, horizontal steam generator. These are the pressurizers, very complex. very complex in terms of everything. This is the fuel bundle which you have already seen. This is a view of the, now this is some of the data. This is the data of a 1000 megawatt, because again, whether it is a coal-based thermal power reactor, whether it is a nuclear reactor, efficiency is somewhere about 35 to 40%. Only supercritical will have slightly higher, 42, 44%. Otherwise, efficiencies are always between 35 to 40%. That means if I want 1000 megawatt electrical net, I have to have 3 times thermal power, 3000 megawatt thermal power. So you divide 1000 by 3000, it comes out to be 33.3, and rest the heat goes waste in the condenser. बाकी की हीट कहाँ वेस्ट जाएगी? कंडेंसर में, और कहाँ जाएगी? कंडेंसर से कहाँ जाएगी? कूलिंग टावर में, एटमॉस्फेयर में चली जाएगी, और है ना, अगर वंस थ्रू है तो लेक में चली जाएगी. नंबर ऑफ सर्कुलेटिंग लूप्स, आप समझ आ गए ना ये बात? रिएक्टर इनलेट टेम्परेचर 288, रिएक्टर आउटलेट 322. Not high, okay, not high, because low pressure and temperature turbine are there. Low pressure turbines are very bulky, and the mass flow is very high. 80,000 meter cube per hour, very high mass flow. Okay, some of the data I have already sent my PPT. Now, Candu type reactor, inside the reactor view. This is the face of the Calandria, 306 channel. I have worked here many times. You have to go there with many protections. And these are the feeder tubes which will be connected to the coolant tubes. दोनों तरफ से ये इसमें कनेक्ट करते हैं. ये फेस है, ये एंड शील्ड, दिस इज द एंड शील्ड, एंड द कैलेंड्रिया इज बिहाइंड इट. वो भी दिखा देता हूं आपको, दिस इज द फेस ऑफ द रिएक्टर चैनल. ये एंड फिटिंग है, क्लोजर प्लग्स होते हैं यहाँ पर. देखिए ये कैलेंड्रिया, कैंडू टाइप रिएक्टर, ओके, हॉरिजॉन्टल नॉर्थ साउथ, प्राइमरी हीट ट्रांसपोर्ट पंप एंड मशरूम हीट एक्सचेंजर. ये सप्रेशन पूल है. देखिए बताने को बहुत कुछ होता है. ये now this is inside view of a sectional view of a reactor. Okay, this is the reactor core. See, these are the mushroom heat exchanger. These are the primary heat transport pumps. Okay, ये नीचे बेस, ये मॉडरेटर रूम है. का बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स रहता है. ये टरबाइन बिल्डिंग है. ये सेकेंडरी साइड, सेम सेकेंडरी साइड. ये देखिए आप, ये देखिए, ये इमरजेंसी एयरलॉक है, ये इमरजेंसी, और इधर मेन एयरलॉक है. Oh, beautiful. Now this is Calandria. This is one view. This is called this is enclosure, Calandria enclosure or Calandria vault. Once it is made critical, then it is sealed forever. Then nobody can penetrate or go anywhere inside it because the radiation levels are very high, very high. आलू बुखारा बन जाएगा उसका immediately, है ना? So it is sealed forever. Now this is Calandria and these are all the coolant tubes, horizontal coolant tube. These are the end fittings and these are the end shields. ये सारी locations में जो है, you have got a control rods, horizontal as well as vertical. ये moderator heat exchangers हैं. ये steam outlet है, ब्यूटीफुल व्यू. थोड़ा ये कूलेंट चैनल असेंबलीज हैं और इन कूलेंट चैनल असेंबली के बाहर मॉडरेटर रहता है, लेकिन अंदर से कूलेंट. द टू सिस्टम्स, कूलेंट सिस्टम इज कॉल्ड प्राइमरी हीट ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम एंड द मॉडरेटर सिस्टम इज आउटसाइड. दोनों अलग अलग हैं बिल्कुल. प्राइमरी हीट ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम इज ए हाई प्रेशर एंड टेम्परेचर सिस्टम, मॉडरेटर इज ए लो प्रेशर एंड टेम्परेचर सिस्टम. एक और व्यू देखिए रिएक्टर बिल्डिंग का. एक और व्यू है अंदर रिएक्टर बिल्डिंग का, बाकी की चीजें नहीं दिखाई है, मेन चीजें दिखाई है। एक और व्यू देखिए, एक कंपैरिजन किया है कैंडू रिएक्टर का और LWR रिएक्टर का। ये हॉरिजॉन्टल है और कूलेंट ये कैलेंड्रिया है। दिस इज हाउ these are coolant tubes। यहाँ पर फ्यूल बंडल रखते हैं और ये LWR में यहाँ पर फ्यूल बंडल रखा हुआ है, वर्टिकल, ये हॉरिजॉन्टल है। ये एंड फिटिंग्स हैं, ये एंड शील्ड्स हैं, ये कूलेंट रॉड्स हैं, ये फिलिंग मशीन्स हैं दोनों तरफ। ये सब कंप्यूटराइज्ड कंट्रोल्ड हैं। ये एक प्राइमरी हीट ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम है, ये कैंडू रिएक्टर का, ये PWR का कंपैरिजन है, कंपैरिजन। देखिए ये तो वैसा ही है, केवल इसके ओरिएंटेशन में फर्क है बस, और फ्यूल में फर्क है। यहां पर नेचुरल यूरेनियम है, यहां पर एनरिच्ड यूरेनियम है। अनदर व्यू, ब्यूटीफुल व्यू। मुझे तो समझ आता है ना, इसलिए मुझे ब्यूटीफुल लगता है। ये देखिए एक और व्यू है कैलेंड्रिया फेस का। कैलेंड्रिया ये काफी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड रहता है, मटेरियल्स बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है। ये स्कीमेटिक दिखाया है ना, दिस इज कैलेंड्रिया हॉरिजॉन्टल रिएक्टर वेसल। ये स्काई, दिस ब्लू, it is the calandria, this is end shield, this is the coolant channel. Is one schematic. This is coolant channel and both sides of the coolant channels are end fitting. End fitting, they have got the provision for inlet and outlet of the coolant, and these are all the fuel bundles, 12 fuel bundles, okay, which is shown here. Moderator is outside, coolant is inside. Moderator outside, coolant outside. The coolant enters, passes like this, comes in contact with the hot fuel bundle, picks up heat and goes outside. Okay. The fast neutron will be produced here. It will go out. It can penetrate through the solid metal. It penetrates out and makes thermal collision with the moderator deuterium atom. Make a number of collisions, 70, some thousand collision it makes, and its energy will come down from 2.5 MeV to 0.025 MeV. और जब उसका एनर्जी इतना हो जाता तो भागता है ये अंदर की तरफ भागता है, और भाग के यहाँ पर फिर अंदर भागता है, और फिर यहाँ पर जो यूरेनियम 235 है उसका फिशन करता है। ओहो कितनी अच्छी, कितना कलर, ब्यूटीफुल व्यू। तो ये बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स है, इसको छोड़ देते हैं, मगर आपके क्या समझ आएगा ये अभी। सेफ्टी फिलॉसफी आप खुद पढ़ लीजिए, आप पढ़ सकेंगे। नो, देयर आर इंस्पेक्टोरेट्स over all the nuclear installation under operation everywhere in the world, but let us talk in the India में we have got Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, which is there in Anushakti Nagar, Chembur, part of DAE, Department of Atomic Energy. AERB, इसके ऊपर जो है इंटरनेशनल एटॉमिक एनर्जी एजेंसी है, जो वियना में बैठती है। हमारे लिए तो दोनों माई बाप हैं। Another beautiful slide to explain the schematic. Oh, you can see this is the calandria which is being transported into the calandria vault at the time of construction. It's a very heavy, it's a massive, it is massive. Its diameter is about 6 meters. What 6 meters? Yeah, its diameter is about 6 meters. नहीं यार, थोड़ा ज्यादा होगा, 6 meter and length about 5.5 meter. Is it okay? No, it has to be okay. So it is very large and it is very heavy. It's very heavy. It is being taken into the reactor core. Now these are the data of 500 megawatt data. आप ले सकते हैं इसको, नेचुरल यूरेनियम डाइऑक्साइड, ओके। लेकिन अगर आप LWR का डाटा देखेंगे, इट विल बी एनरिच्ड यूरेनियम डाइऑक्साइड, Moderator is heavy water, coolant is heavy water. रिएक्टर बिल्डिंग का डायमेंशंस भी दिया है, मोटा मोटी सब कुछ दिया है अगर आप पढ़ना चाहेंगे तो। ना गैस कूल्ड हम छोड़ देते हैं, तो केवल FBR बता देता हूं ना। फास्ट ब्रीडर रिएक्टर इज देयर इन कल्पकम. It is a indigenous one based on Phoenix, a reactor of France. Phoenix of France. They are very risky reactor. Elsewhere in the world, they have been stopped, but because हमें अपना ट्रिपल लेयर और 3 लेयर न्यूक्लियर फ्यूल साइकिल प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट करना है, इसलिए हम रिस्क लेके इसको चलाते हैं. इसमें रिस्क किस बात का है? किसी चीज का नहीं है, सिर्फ सोडियम का है. सोडियम इज यूज्ड एज कूलेंट, नो मॉडरेटर. यहां पर मॉडरेटर यूज नहीं करते क्योंकि दिस इज डिजाइंड फॉर फास्ट फिशन. अब फास्ट फिशन पर बेस्ड है तो मॉडरेटर की क्या जरूरत है, लेकिन कूलेंट तो चाहिए ना. तो फॉर कूलेंट वी यूज सोडियम हेयर. सोडियम मेटल वी यूज्ड एज कूलेंट because sodium is good because its heat absorption and transportation as compared to water is many times higher. It can pick up heat right from 84 degrees centigrade to about 826 degrees centigrade without boiling. इससे अच्छा मटेरियल तो हो ही नहीं सकता है without boiling. So that is why it is being used, but it is prone to catch fire. Any leakage of sodium, which is used in several hundred tons, can be risky. आग लगने का डर बहुत ज्यादा है. So that is the only thing. And then MOX fuel is used. Actually, आप इतना complex terminology अगर नहीं भी पढ़ना चाहते हैं तो you simply can say plutonium and uranium mixed together, MOX fuel mixed together. क्योंकि हमारे पास दोनों हैं, यूरेनियम 235 भी है, यूरेनियम 238 नेचुरल यूरेनियम तो है ही है, और प्लूटोनियम भी है. प्लूटोनियम कहां से आया? पिछले रिएक्टर से आया, LWR PHWR से आया. दोनों को मिला के अबाउट 13% एनरिचमेंट is done, and then it is blanketed, उसको कवर कर देते हैं थोरियम से, and that kind of fuel bundle are inserted into a swimming pool reactor. ये swimming pool reactor है, ऊपर से नंगा है, ये swimming pool reactor है. तो यहाँ fast fission होता है, and these are the sodium pumps are there. Sodium is pumped past the reactor core, and then see ये आ रही है. Sodium picks up heat and then it is transported via first primary cycle, then second primary cycle into the secondary cycle where heat of the sodium is transported to the light water. Heat of the sodium is transferred to the light water. That's it. So the biggest advantage here, thorium, because we covered plutonium and uranium 238 material with thorium, and the thorium 232 is converted into uranium 233. That is the only advantage. Now it generates 500 megawatt of electricity to the southern grid. Where it is located? I am going to ask this question. Where it is located? It is located in the Kalpakam. Okay. Why it is called breeder reactor? Because it breeds more fuel than it consumes. I don't know how many of you are sleeping. Fast breeder reactor. See how uranium 238 is converted into plutonium. One neutron, fast neutron comes, and uranium 238 captures it, just like a baseball man captures it. It becomes uranium 239 by beta decay. I don't know how much you are comfortable with these equations. Uranium-239 by beta decay is converted to neptunium. Neptunium-239, see, atomic number is increasing. Atomic number is increasing. हेलो जैन साहब. हाँ जी, हाँ बस कर रहा हूं. तो ये देखिए नेपच्यूनियम और नेपच्यूनियम के बाद हमारा प्लूटोनियम है. प्लूटोनियम है, ये हमारे लिए बेशकीमती है. नाउ दिस प्लूटोनियम इज very very essential and very costly from all point of view, all purposes point of view. Now they are all possible inside the reactor. Okay, so this is a fast breeder reactor and this is the first primary heat transport cycle. This is the second primary heat transport cycle. This is the light water where it is converted into steam and then turbine. Okay, now lot of things have to be, I mean, radiation aspect, radiation management aspect, disposal of radioactive management aspect. I mean, there are many things. Some of the informations are summarized here. How the reactor is made critical. Okay, from where we get the first neutron. Everything is written if you go through my PPTs. So, dear friends, let me come to the conclusion part of it. I hope you must have picked up something. And are you ready with any kind of questions? Have you written down? So abruptly I conclude it. Because of the time constraints. But it is very interesting, you know. It is very, because it is full of science. It is technological. It is highly full of physics. Now, any question relevant to whatever I spoke? Before I hand over the session to the next faculty, they too must be restless and waiting for their turn because it is getting delayed. Morning session was delayed. Okay. Any question? Please welcome faculty. Sorry, all participants. Any question, at least one or two questions? Hello, coordinator, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anybody, you can unmute people to ask question. Otherwise, I'll say, okay, hand over to the, hello, sir.
Sir, what is the cost of electricity generation?
Oh, beautiful. Something like 3 rupees or even less than. It is comparable to thermal. It is comparable to coal based. Otherwise, nobody will buy electricity from us.
Okay, sir.
Because electricity, it is sellable in the open market. Electricity is being sold on the daily basis in the market nowadays. Nobody will buy. So it is comparable to coal-based thermal power plant.
Okay, sir.
2.5, sometime less than 2.5. That is why the unit sizes are increasing. 210 to 500, 500 to 700, 700 to 1000 megawatts, so that the cost per unit comes down.
Okay, sir.
And the cost of installation is also not different. If thermal is costing about 6 crore per megawatt, this is costing about 6.5 crores per megawatt.
Okay, sir.
But we are managing them very well, touch wood, and God bless all our nuclear installation. The future depends only on nuclear. So I think people must have got something out of my deliberations. And if they have got some question, they can always write to me through you or directly to me on my email or phone number. Most welcome. I will answer happily to all the question whoever puts up. With that, I conclude and hand over mic back to yourself, sir.
So there was someone who raised hand in the participation list.
Yeah. Is there any question hurriedly?
K.C. Sunhare, sir, from Korba.
Yeah, please.
Do you have any question? You can unmute yourself. Now the options are available. You can unmute yourself and just ask the question, please.
Just 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes for the question session. Not able to hear. Sir, you can pass on the question to me if you have heard of the question. But to me,
no, sir, I haven't heard the question.
Yeah,
but
to me also it is not clear because but somebody raised from Korba.
Yeah, I saw that too. Okay, I guess it was just a mistake. Okay, sir, no problem.
So any questions, sir? Any question? Okay, then I conclude my session because asking no question means no interest. either people could not make out anything out of it, or it was too boring. But no. Nuclear is very live subject. Everybody finds interest. It's only because we are not face to face. That is why people are unable to ask question. It's okay. You are most welcome through my email and mobile number. Any question being asked, but remove all your myth. You must be having a lot of myth. Somebody came from NTPC for delivering lecture on nuclear power. So everything he explained was as per his own assumption. It is very dangerous and this thing and that thing. God bless him. God bless all my nuclear power installation. They are utter safe. They are safe from all consideration. Otherwise, nobody would have approved them. Okay then, sir. You can invite. Ji.
Vote of thanks के लिए.
Yes,
Pardon, sir?
Thank you, sir, for this informative session. You rightly mentioned here about the nuclear reactor, brief description of natural uranium, fuel bundles, benefits of nuclear power generation, and review of nuclear energy. Thank you, sir, for giving a beneficial information and your valuable time.
You're most welcome for any other time.